Before we get into this absolute political earthquake, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and drop down in the comments right now to let us know what you think about this breaking story. Your voice matters, so let it be heard. Look at your screens, because what just happened in Washington is something no one, and I mean no one, saw coming. The current president of the United States, Donald Trump, just broke the internet in the most shocking way possible. Just hours ago, an image was posted to the president's official social media accounts, but this was not a picture of a rally. This was not a picture of a bill being signed. It was a computer-generated picture, an AI image, showing Donald Trump standing as a literal Christ-like figure. Yes, you heard that right. A glowing, holy Jesus-like picture of the president posted for the whole world to see. And then in a blink of an eye, it was gone. Deleted, wiped from the timeline. But on the internet, nothing is ever truly gone. Millions of people saw it. Millions of people took a screenshot. And right now, this single deleted picture is causing a massive, blazing firestorm across the entire country. People are frozen in pure shock. You have to understand how wild this is. A sitting president putting out an image of himself as a holy savior. Why did this happen? Where did this come from? It all traces back to some very strange, very heated comments the president just made regarding Pope Leo XIV. The words were already causing a massive stir. The tension was already high. And then, out of nowhere, boom, the Jesus picture drops. It is the ultimate political shockwave. It is spreading faster than wildfire. And everyone is asking the exact same question. What was he thinking? This is not normal politics. This is entirely new territory, and the fallout from this one deleted post is going to be historic. It is grabbing every single headline. It is stopping traffic. It is the only thing anyone is talking about right now, because when the leader of the free world paints himself as a divine figure right after clashing with the Vatican, the whole world stops to watch the chaos unfold. Now, let us talk about the anger, because the anger is boiling over, and it is coming from places the White House never expected. Usually, when President Trump does something controversial, the battle lines are clear. One side gets mad, the other side defends him. But not today. Today, the outrage is coming from inside his own camp. Religious conservatives, the people who've stood by him through thick and thin, are absolutely furious. They are looking at this AI image of Trump dressed like Christ with the glowing light and the holy robes, and they are calling it what it is to them. Disrespectful, deeply, deeply offensive to millions of Christians in this country. You do not play around with the image of Jesus. You do not use it for a political stunt, and you certainly do not put your own face on it to score points online. The backlash is loud and it is angry. Pastors, faith leaders, and everyday churchgoers are flooding social media with absolute disbelief. They are saying a line has been crossed, a massive, bright red line. You can feel the emotion pouring out of every comment section. It is a mix of hurt and anger. People are asking, how could anyone think this was a good idea? How could the president's team let this happen? This is not just a regular political mistake. This feels deeply personal to people of faith. They see it as mocking something sacred. And the fact that it was deleted so quickly only proves one thing. The White House knew they messed up. They knew they pushed it too far. But the damage was already done in those few minutes. It was live. You cannot unring a bell, and you cannot unsee the President of the United States glowing like a religious savior on your feed. The outrage is real. It is raw, and it is growing every single second. This is a storm that deleting a post will never, ever stop. To fully grasp why this is such a massive disaster, we have to look at what triggered this whole mess in the first place. This did not just happen out of nowhere. It started with a war of words. It started with President Trump making some very harsh, very direct remarks about Pope Leo XIV. Now, attacking a pope is rare. It is extremely rare. It is risky business for any politician, let alone the current president. But the remarks were made the tension was put out there for the whole world to see. People were already talking about the clash. The news was already focused on this bizarre fight between the Oval Office and the Vatican. And just when you thought the story could not get any crazier, the image drops. It was like throwing a huge barrel of gas right onto a burning fire. The timing is what makes this so completely shocking. Right after picking a fight with one of the most famous religious figures on the planet, the president's account shares a picture of himself as the ultimate religious figure. It was a direct hit, it was a flex, and it failed miserably. People are looking at the connection between the remarks about the Pope and the Jesus picture, and they are stunned. It feels like a massive taunt that went horribly wrong. You have to wonder who pressed the button to post this. Was it the president himself? Was it a staffer? Did they think it would be funny? Did they think it would show strength? Whatever the goal was, it backfired in the most spectacular way possible. It turned a bad news cycle into an absolute nightmare. It took a political disagreement with the Pope and turned it into a national debate about disrespecting religion. The dots are connected, and the picture it paints is complete chaos. This is a total masterclass in how to turn a spark into a massive explosion. Let us talk about the internet, because the internet is entirely broken right now over this fight. You might think that hitting the delete button fixes a problem. Not today. Not in this world. The second that picture went live, millions of eyes saw it, and thousands of people took screenshots. Within minutes, that deleted picture was everywhere. It exploded across X, it took over the front page of Reddit, it is being shared in group chats, text messages, and every single social media site you can name. This is the true definition of going viral. But it is not just outrage driving the shares. It is pure, absolute fascination. Even the people who do not care about politics cannot stop staring at this image. It is so weird, so out of place, so hard to believe that people are sharing it just to say, can you believe this is real? Even his biggest critics are posting the picture everywhere. They are making jokes, they are making memes, and they are making sure that no one forgets what was posted. It is a runaway train. The algorithms are pushing it to the top of every feed. You cannot open a phone or a computer right now without seeing this. AI-generated picture of the president. The White House tried to hide it, but instead, they made it the most famous picture in the world today. By deleting it, they proved they were scared of it. And that only made the internet push it harder. It is wild to watch in real time, a digital wildfire that is burning across the globe. People are fascinated by the sheer panic of the deletion. They are fascinated by the fake, computer-generated glow of the picture. It is a bizarre mix of political news and weird internet culture colliding all at once, and it is keeping everyone glued to their screens, waiting to see what happens next. So where does this leave us right now? It leaves us in a state of total panic behind closed doors. Right now, inside the White House, you can guarantee there is an absolute scramble going on. They are in pure damage control mode. The silence coming from the administration is deafening. No one has come out to explain it. No one has issued an apology. No one has pointed a finger at a rogue staffer or a hacker. It is just dead quiet silence, and that silence is only making the storm worse. People want answers. The press wants answers. Religious leaders are demanding answers. How does an AI image of the president as Jesus make it onto his official page? Who approved it? Why was it up there? The longer they wait to say something, the worse it looks. It creates a massive vacuum. And right now, anger and rumors are filling that vacuum. The pressure is building to a dangerous boiling point. The current president of the United States is facing a huge crisis of his own making, all over a fake computer picture. It is almost too crazy to believe, but it is exactly what is happening. The clock is ticking. Every minute that goes by without a statement is another minute for the outrage to grow. Will he double down? Will he say it was a joke? Will he blame someone else? We are standing on the edge of the next big move, and the whole country is watching with their breath held. This is not going to fade away by tomorrow. This is a kind of massive error that sticks to a leader. It is the kind of story that gets written down in history books because it is just so uniquely strange. We're tracking every move, waiting for the first word from the president. The stage is set for a massive showdown, and this story is only just beginning to heat up. Let us look at the politics of this, because this is where the ground is really shifting right under our feet. For years, President Trump has had a base of voters that is rock solid. We all know this. We have seen it time and time again. He can say things that would end any other political career, and his supporters stay right by his side. They cheer louder, they defend him harder. But this time, that invisible shield might actually be cracking. When you start messing with deep religious beliefs, when you start putting your own face on a holy figure, you are playing with a completely different kind of fire. Conservative voters who have always had his back are suddenly pausing. They are looking at this AI Jesus picture and they are feeling a real sense of betrayal. It is a bridge too far. You can hear it on the radio shows today. You can see it in the messages from local party leaders. There is a deep, uncomfortable hesitation. People are asking if the ego has finally outgrown the office. And that is a terrifying question for any campaign or administration to face, because once you lose that blind loyalty, once the people who always defend you start to question your respect for their most sacred beliefs, you cannot easily win them back. This is not about a policy disagreement. This is not about a tax rate or a trade deal. This is about core values and basic respect. And right now, the silence from his most loyal defenders is the loudest noise. In Washington, they do not know how to spin this. They do not know how to excuse an image of their political leader trying to look like the Son of God. The political armor is dented, and the whole world is watching to see if it finally breaks apart completely. The fallout here is not just about today's news cycle. It is about the entire future of his political survival and whether or not his most devoted followers will finally draw a line in the sand. Now, you have to imagine what is happening over at the Vatican right now. The global stage is completely lit up. Remember, this whole disaster started because the president decided to go after Pope Leo XIV. He made those remarks. He stirred the pot. And then he dropped this holy, glowing picture of himself. The international community is looking at the United States today with pure, absolute disbelief. World leaders are watching a sitting president troll the head of the Catholic Church with a computer-generated picture. It sounds like a bad movie, but it is real life. The Vatican is a place of deep tradition, of careful words, and of immense global influence. They do not get into petty internet fights. But this is an insult that echoes across the entire world. Millions and millions of Catholics around the globe are waking up, looking at the news, and seeing the leader of the free world mocking their faith to score a cheap point. The diplomatic damage here is huge. How do you walk this back? How does the State Department even begin to explain this to our allies? You cannot just send a standard apology letter for something like this. The image was too loud. The insult was too direct. Foreign news networks are playing the story on a constant loop. They're showing the picture. They're translating the president's attacks on Pope Leo, and they are shaking their heads. The United States is supposed to be the steady hand on the global wheel. But right now, we look like a nation led by an internet troll who has lost touch with reality. The international phone lines are burning up today. Ambassadors are scrambling. The absolute recklessness of posting that single image has created a global diplomatic nightmare that will take months, if not years, to fully repair. And the crazy part is, no one even knows if the president cares about the global damage he just caused. We also have to talk about how this picture was even made, because this brings us to a very dark, very scary new reality. This was not a painting. This was not a photograph. This was an AI-generated image. A computer built this fake reality, and the President of the United States used it to project himself as a divine savior. We are stepping into completely unknown territory here, when the most powerful person on the planet starts using artificial intelligence to create fake, highly emotional, deeply offensive imagery. Where does it end? We have warned about the dangers of AI in politics for a long time. We talked about fake audio, we talked about fake videos, but here it is, right in our faces. The technology is being used as a weapon from the very top. It makes the truth feel slippery, it makes reality feel cheap, and it shows that the people in power are willing to use these new tools to manipulate emotions on a massive scale. The uncanny, glowing look of that fake Jesus that Trump is going to be studied for years. It is the perfect example of how technology can be used to cross moral and ethical lines in the blink of an eye. People are scared of what this means for the future. If a sitting president can casually post a fake AI-made holy image to attack a religious leader like Pope Leo XIV, what is the next fake image going to be? What else will they invent to make people angry or to stroke their own ego? The internet was already a wild place, but this just proved that there are no rules anymore. The highest office in the land is using digital parlor tricks to create maximum chaos. This is a massive wake-up call for everyone. We are no longer just fighting over words and policies. We are now fighting over fake, computer-generated realities being pushed by the people who are supposed to be leading us. And that is a truly terrifying thought for the future. When you step back and look at the big picture, you really start to feel the historical weight of this exact moment. Years from now, people are going to read about this day. They will read about the day the president decided to pick a fight with the Pope and then posted a fake picture of himself as a glowing religious savior. It will be in the history books, and students will ask their teachers, did this really happen? Was the country really this divided? Was the leadership really this chaotic? And the answer will be yes. We are living through a moment of absolute, unprecedented madness. This goes so far beyond normal partisan politics. Democrats and Republicans fight all the time. That is normal. That is how the system works. But this is not normal. This is a complete breakdown of basic presidential behavior. This is a total loss of dignity. The Oval Office is supposed to represent the best of the nation. It is supposed to be a place of serious thought and careful action. But right now, it feels like it is being run like a rogue social media account desperately begging for attention. The sheer arrogance it takes to post that image is staggering, and the cowardice it takes to delete it just minutes later is even worse. It shows a complete lack of discipline. It shows a leader who reacts on pure impulse, without any thought about the consequences, and when you are holding the nuclear codes, acting on pure impulse is the last thing the world wants to see. We are trapped in a news cycle that feels like a bad reality television show, but the stakes are incredibly real. The outrage is real. The damage to our global standing is real. We are watching a historical train crash in slow motion, and the worst part is, we have absolutely no idea how to stop it. The rules of politics have been completely rewritten today, and nobody knows what happens tomorrow. This is why you have to stay glued to this story, because this fire is not going out anytime soon. The deleted image of the president as a fake AI, Jesus, is going to dominate every conversation, every debate, and every single news broadcast for the foreseeable future. The White House cannot hide from this. They cannot just pretend it never happened. The internet has the receipts, and the public is demanding answers. We are waiting for the press briefing. We are waiting for the tweets. We are waiting for the Vatican to officially respond to this unprecedented disrespect. Every single hour that passes brings a new layer of crazy to this unfolding disaster. You need to be paying close attention, because this is exactly how major historical shifts happen. They happen when someone pushes the line too far and the entire system snaps back. We might be watching the moment the spell finally breaks for his most loyal supporters. We might be watching a permanent change in how religion and politics collide in the digital age. This is the kind of breaking news that shakes the very foundation of our national conversation. The shock waves are still traveling, and the full impact is yet to be felt. I promise you, we're going to be tracking every single development, every single leak, and every single reaction, as this massive, unprecedented story continues to break wide open. You do not want to miss a single second of this coverage as we bring you the absolute latest facts on the ground. So before you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on your notifications so you are the very first to know when the next huge update drops. Like this video to help push the truth out there, and get into the comments immediately. I want to know exactly what you think about this deleted AI image and the attacks on Pope Leo XIV. Is this the end of the line or just another crazy day in politics?